As we as humans continue to evolve, we become stronger, faster, and smarter. But what if that's not all? What if I told you that there were people out there who have taken evolution to the next level and have actually developed what some would call superpowers? The question is, could you be one of them? Here are 10 people with unexplainable powers. Number 10 is AQUA vision. Dubbed the Sea Gypsies of Southeast Asia, the Moken are a semi-nomadic people living in the Mergui archipelago, which is made up of nearly 800 islands in the Andaman Sea. These people have somehow developed an amazing ability. Studies have revealed that Moken children can see underwater at least twice as well as the average European child. Normally, when we go underwater, the pupils in our eyes expand, but the pupils in their eyes actually constrict, meaning that they can see beneath the surface nearly as well, if not better, than we can on land. It's been suggested that one potential explanation for the Moken people possessing such incredible vision underwater is because of natural evolution. However, the true reason for this fascinating ability is still unknown. Number 9 is near perfect memory. Born in 1951 in Salt Lake City, Utah, Kim Peek was a savant who became the inspiration for the 1988 film Rain Man. Expelled from grade school after only one day for being disruptive, Peek learned what he needed to from literature, apparently being able to read books 2 pages at a time, one eye on each page. But it was his memory that was the most impressive. Despite only having an IQ of 87, Peek possessed nearly perfect recall, meaning he could remember nearly everything he perceived. He was capable of giving driving directions between any 2 cities on the planet and even recite passages from a randomly selected book he'd read from memory. While some doctors believe Peek was autistic, many think he may have suffered from FG syndrome. To this day, it's unknown just how Peek had his incredible ability. Number 8 is being fearless. After a very rare genetic condition called Urbach-Vita disease ravaged her bilateral amygdala, an anonymous female patient known as SM or SM046 found herself in a unique situation. Dubbed the Woman Without Fear, this now 50-year-old woman is almost completely incapable of feeling afraid, which has made her the subject of several scientific studies as well as experiments. The first time she ever truly experienced what it's like to be scared, at least in her adult life, was during an experiment conducted by the University of Iowa, in which she breathed in carbon dioxide through a mask and began to panic less than 8 seconds later. Exactly why SM can stare down an armed mugger without shaking, but becomes terrified by suffocation, can only be speculated, as the case continues to be a bit of a mystery. Number 7 is disease identifier. When Joy Milne began noticing a strange musky smell coming from her husband Les, she thought little of it, telling him to clean himself better. However, as the years passed, and Les was diagnosed with Parkinson's, she realized she could somehow smell the disease. To prove her mysterious ability to scientists, Joy was given 12 t-shirts from patients, 6 with Parkinson's and 6 without the condition. Joy claimed 7 of the shirts were from people with the disease, correctly identifying the 6 worn by Parkinson's patients. The remaining shirt was the only mistake. until 3 months later when it was discovered that that patient also coincidentally suffered from the disease. After a final promise to her husband, who died in 2015, Joy said that she would try to use her strange ability in order to help others, something she still does to this day. Number 6 is SCULPT the Unseen. Born in 1958 in Boulder, Colorado, Alonzo Clemens suffered a fall as a child, leaving him with brain damage. Unable to tie his shoes or even feed himself, it seemed like Clemens' life would be bitter and full of only hardships, until it was discovered that he had an uncanny ability. Even before the injury, he was showing signs of heightened creativity, using Play-Doh at just 2 years old to make various shapes. However, now considered a savant, Clemens can sculpt animals he's never even seen accurately to the tiniest detail. He doesn't need hours to study his subjects and can make a perfect miniature replica of a creature in less than 30 minutes, copying the image created in his own mind even when he's in the dark. This unique ability has made Clemens some decent money, but has also left a number of experts very confused. Number 5 is super strength. Born on October 10, 1863 in Saint-Cyprien de Naperville, Quebec, Canada, Louis Cyr discovered that he possessed an unnatural strength at an early age. At just 17 years old, he bested Canada's then strongest man, Michaud of Quebec, in a lift contest and went on to win multiple competitions and set several world records that he still holds today. In a truly jaw-dropping display, Cyr managed to hold back 4 horses who were running from him, and once lifted a platform with 18 men on it. Ben Weider, the former International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness chairman, has gone on record saying that Louis Cyr was the strongest man ever to have lived, and Cyr's mind-blowing feats of strength back up that claim. To this day, nobody can say how he could do the things that he did, or where his abilities came from. Number 4 is echolocation. At just 3 years old, Ben Underwood lost his sight when retinal cancer ravaged both of his eyes, and they had to be surgically removed. Refusing to give up, Ben's determination pushed him forward, and by the age of 5, he'd somehow taught himself how to use echolocation to see. By making clicking sounds with his tongue, he could sense the objects around him through the reflecting sound waves that bounced back off of them. Ben managed to learn how to run, play basketball, rollerblade, skateboard, and even ride a bike, much to the surprise of his doctors. Sadly, the same cancer that took his vision from him took Ben's life on January 19, 2009, but the 16-year-old had already made a name for himself as not only a medical miracle, but as a superhuman that defied logic. Number 3 is enhanced vision. While she might not have Superman's X-ray vision, Veronica Cedar's own ability to see is truly extraordinary, yet nobody seems to know why or how she has it. A person who can see normally is considered to have 20/20 vision, meaning from a distance of 20 feet or 6.1 meters. They can see the same details as the average person, but Cedar has 22 vision, meaning she can make out the same details but at a distance of over 1.6 kilometers away. Additionally, while looking at a television, she can not only make out the individual frames, but the individual colors they're made of. Cedar's uncanny visual accuracy is still baffling doctors and scientists to this day. Number 2 is pyrokinesis. Imagine staring at something intently for a moment, only to see it suddenly burst into flames. Not because there was an open flame or heater close to it, but because you were staring at it. This is the reality a teenaged boy in Italy named Benedetto Cepino allegedly faced when he suddenly realized that he had the uncanny ability to ignite flammable items just by being in close proximity to them. One day in 1982, Cepino was reading a comic book in a dentist's waiting room when the pages ignited. Later, his bed sheets and pajamas went up in flames while he slept, leading to severe burns to the young boy's body. It seemed that wherever Cepino went, fire followed, until he was taught by Dr. Demetrio Croce, a parapsychologist, to control them. How the boy managed to do these things is still a mystery to this day. And number 1 is invisibility. If you were making a list of superpowers that can help make you rich, invisibility would likely be pretty high on it. It happened to top that of 20-year-old Bernardo Vasquez, a resident of San Juan, Puerto Rico, who, in 1936, declared to his mother that he'd figured out how to give himself such an ability through black magic and the mutilated corpse of a cat. The young man claimed to be able to become completely invisible at will by placing one of the feline's bones under his tongue. After Vasquez barricaded himself in his bedroom, his mother called the police, who had to break in, as the door was locked from the inside. It was there that they found a disemboweled black cat, a tin can with pieces of burnt wood from a coffin, but no Bernardo. The case was never solved, and Bernardo Vasquez remains invisible to this day.